Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in and taking a couple of minutes to hear about one of our most important routines for science. For some of you, this will be a review. For some of you, this will be new information, but wanted to talk a little bit about our science discussion questions, which are found on every unit plan. And now as you move into a lesson, you will also see a reminder of the daily routine. So the reason that we put this reminder in is because this is our spiraling tool for science, and it is our tool to really develop scientific thinking in students, and along with an opportunity to integrate literacy skills into science. So many of you may have been around long enough for when these first rolled out, and we tried to do about 4 of these a week. So let's just take a look at what an SDQ page looks like. We no longer call them week, we now call them sets. And the expectation is that you would do 1 of these questions a week for the first semester, possibly 2. And the focus here is not on the correct answer. The focus is on thinking. So if you look for an answer key, you will not find them. And the best thing you can do for your students is tell them this is the time of the day when we are not focused on answers, we are focused on thinking. And this is going to take a lot of modeling and patience on teacher part. Please don't give in to giving the answer to the students. Give feedback and praise for thinking and using thinking skills as opposed to a right-wrong answer. So how, you wonder, do you make one question last for 3 weeks or for a week? I'm sorry. So our suggestion is that you use these SDQ prompts that have been made. We have them in student size that can go in their notebooks. We also have them in poster size that we suggest that you hang on the wall. And so you would give the students 1 question that you want them to focus on. And on day 1, you would just say to them, what personal connections can you make to this question? And of course, you want to give them a sentence frame. So this question reminds me of, it can be a word, it can be part of the picture, it can be any personal connection that they can make to that question. But the big idea here is that you give them a sentence frame in order to structure that language for them. You could also use the question, what do you wonder? 5 to 7 minutes max. When that time is over, SDQ time is over. On day 2, you'll put the question back up again, and you would say to the kids, so looking at this question, let's read it together. We read it yesterday. We're going to read it together today. You can do a choral read. You can do a drop-in and read, which is an avid strategy. You can have them read it silently. And then you just say to them, what words are interesting to you? Now, knowing your class, you may want them to jot it down. You may want them to close their eyes and think, and then give you a signal when they have come up with some words that are interesting to them. And then you prompt them by saying, use the sentence frame to share the interesting words. In this question, an interesting word to me was blank, because. I would hold them accountable for that because. You could also ask, what do you think are the most important words in this question? Again, make them justify their answer. Always give them that because part of the sentence frame. 5 to 7 minutes is up. The next day, you may want to ask the question, how can this question be represented visually? And let the kids do a little drawing and do a couple share outs so that you can see how people represented it visually. If it already comes with a visual, you can ask questions such as, what part of this visual is helpful to you? What do you wish the visual had? On day 4, you would ask them, what do you think is the big idea of this question and what is it really asking about? And then on day 5, you would get to answer the question. Now, I've seen teachers combine some of these questions. They also do a lot with AB partners and put the questions up and then have the kids in AB partners rehearse some of this language before they share out, which is a fabulous idea. And only 1 or 2 kids have to share out. And like I said, the magic number is between 5 and 7 minutes. So here is some slide deck that a 4th grade teacher made last year as she made it her goal to do more with SDQs to really promote that language development and thinking for our students. So the slide deck has 4 slides and each slide has a timer, and that is not so much for the students, but it is for the teacher in order to hold her or him accountable for ending that time at 5 to 7 minutes. And I have modeled this a lot in classrooms, and honest to goodness, when the timer goes off, we stop right in the middle of the sentence. And sometimes the kids are disappointed, sometimes they're glad. But you can see this teacher simply added the question stems that you just saw on the little cards right here, and each slide has a different frame. My suggestion would be that the sentence frames would be written on these slides as well to support that language for the kids, because this is really about spiraling language development and thinking skills. Another thing that has been made by a teacher is it's called a 4-square. This was developed later in the year, and so I'm pretty sure this was a Sagling 5th grade teacher. The kids were super familiar with doing these. And so on day 1, they define it. On day 2, they do a little research. What are you being asked to do? Use classroom resources such as the Science Thesaurus and Scatbook and discuss some ideas. Day 3, they draw it. And day 4, they answer it. So this teacher printed these for the kids to do with a science discussion question. So, like I said, this is an expectation that these are happening in every 4th and 5th grade classroom on a daily basis. They are one of our, like I said, most powerful tools. So when you go back to your unit plan where we started, and in the toolbox for every unit, there will be a link to an SDQ resource folder. And all of the resources that I showed today, the slide deck, the 4-square, the posters, your actual SDQs, and also an FAQ page with some sentence prompts are there for you to use. So if you have any questions about these, or you want to see them modeled, or you want some ideas of how to do them, please reach out to Jess Malloy or myself. We would love to come talk to you. Or do them with the kids. Like I said, it's one of our favorite things to do, and the kids get super excited about them when the focus is on that thinking and not the right answer. All right, thanks for listening, and good luck with implementing or revising or rejuvenating your science discussion questions.